Everyone, welcome to another video, and today we are going to talk about the scattering of light through a prism. We all know that light scatters, but how it scatters through a prism, that's what we are going to know today. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. We all know that white light is made up of 7 different colors, and the 7 different colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. That is, in short, we call it Pibgyor. P-I-B-G-Y-O. Now, why is this always arranged in this fashion? This fashion it is arranged because it is the order of ascending order. This is an ascending order, you can say, ascending order of wavelength. So the smallest wavelength is of violet and the largest wavelength is of the red. So this way, if you move from left to right, the wavelength increases. If you move from right to left, the wavelength increases. Okay? So this is the arrangement of light based on their wavelengths. Pibgyor are the 7 components. Now let's see how it scatters in case of prism, or how a prism helps to scatter the light. What is the general structure of a prism? Always look through this rectangular face of the prism. In this rectangular face of the prism, this direction if light enters, suppose light enters through this direction, what happens when light enters? Since this is air or any other medium and this is glass, because of the change in the medium, what will happen is that light will change its direction. As we have studied in chapter 10, whenever there is change in the medium, there occurs refraction. Refraction means change in direction of the light. Here, light will change its direction. So, in which direction? Let us draw one normal to this point. Normal means a perpendicular. Suppose this is the normal to this point. This light, there had been no glass. Suppose there is no glass, what will happen to this light? This light will pass straight through like this. Right? I hope you understand. If there is no glass, this is if there is no glass, light will travel in a straight line like this. Since there is glass, this light, instead of traveling this way, it will bend towards the normal because the refractive index of glass is more than that of air. Now this light will bend towards the normal, means towards this direction. This direction it will bend. After bending, it will face another surface. Again, here we have 2 different mediums. This is glass, this is air. Now again it will change the direction, but in which direction? Let us draw one normal to this point as well. If we draw a normal to this point, what happens is, this time, if there had been no change in medium, the light would have traveled like this. This would be the direction of light if there had been no change in the medium. As there is change in the medium, the glass is more dense compared to the air. What will happen to the light? It will move away from the normal. Instead of going in this direction, this time light will move away. Means it will come out in this direction. Okay? This is how light enters, moves through the prism and comes out. Based on this, we have different namings of different angles. So let's see what we have. This one, angle made by the incident ray with the normal, is called the angle of incidence. You all know about it. Now we have normal here, and this angle made by the refracted ray, this is the refracted ray. Angle made by the refracted ray with the normal is called the angle of refraction. I have written angle R here, okay? Angle of refraction. Now, here what happens, this is the normal. The angle is this. So the emergent ray, this is called the emergent ray, means the ray which is emerged out of the prism, or come out of the prism. In this case, this is the angle made by the emergent ray with the. So this angle is called the angle of emergence, angle E. These are the 3 basic angles that we know: angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and the angle of emergence. 3 angles. Now we have one more angle. Suppose when we see the light coming in this direction, it seems like the light has not come from here. Does it even occur to you if you are not able to see this part? Will you think that the light has come from here, even like this come from here? No. It seems like light has come from somewhere in this direction. If I trace the light back in this direction, it seems like light has come from this direction. That means what? If you look carefully, light was meant to go in this direction. The absence of a glass prism, light was meant to go in this direction. But it appears that light has come from this direction. So what is the deviation? How much has the light changed its path? It's bound to go in this direction, it deviated till this angle. This angle is the original incident rays path to the emergent rays path. Means the direction in which the light would have gone, but the actual direction of light. This change in the direction, this angle is called the angle of deviation, or D. Called angle of deviation. So now we have four angles: angle of incidence, angle of refraction, angle of emergence, and the angle of deviation. So if you are asked what is angle of deviation means it is the angle by which the incident ray has changed its path while coming out as an emergent ray. It is the change in the path if there had been no prism. If there had been no prism, light would have gone like this. Because of the presence of prism, light has come out like this. This was the original path, but this is the final path. This is the distance. This is the angle change. It would have gone like this, but it came out like this. So this is the angle by which light is deviated, or it has changed its path. This is the angle of deviation. I hope you are clear with all these angles. And this angle is called the angle of the prism. This angle is called the angle of prism. Now we have many, suppose angle A. That's right, angle A. Angle A is the angle of prism. That is how light refracts through a prism. It comes in, changes its path, again changes its path. While coming in, it will move towards the normal. While going out, it will move away from the normal. Here it is moving towards the normal. It is moving away from the normal. So I hope that's clear to you. This is our ultimate emergent ray. Okay. Now let us see why the particles of light, why the different lights having different wavelengths change their path. I mean, why they are scattered, not change their path. Obviously, they will change their path. Why are they scattered? Look into that. Now, before we move into that, you must understand one thing, that any light being a shorter wavelength or smaller wavelength will be deviated more compared to any light which has a longer wavelength. That means that violet light, which has the smallest wavelength, will be refracted more compared to red light. Okay, so it is easier to refract or deviate a light having shorter wavelength compared to a light having longer wavelength. If we have the prism out here like this, we allow light to pass this direction. It contains white light. Suppose this is our white light. When white light is allowed to pass through a prism, it will deviate into different directions. What by this I mean that violet light, since it is easiest to deviate or easiest to diffract, it will deviate the most. Then comes violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Red will deviate the least. So this is our normal. Red will deviate the least. Okay. This is our red, this is the violet. And in the middle, we'll have indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So 7 different lights. Violet deviated the most, red deviated the less. This is because of wavelength. That's why I wrote the VIBGYOR at the beginning to make you understand that violet has the smallest wavelength and red has the largest wavelength. Why it is important? Because violet having the smallest wavelength will be deviated more, and red having the longest wavelength will be deviated the most. Will be deviated the least. There will be very minimum deviation of red light. As a result, what happens? The light was coming together, but because of this change in the medium, they refract in a different way. One with the shortest wavelength will be refracted more, the one with the longest wavelength will be refracted less, and they move in this direction. Now what happens? They will again come out from here. Same thing will happen. Again there is change in medium, and as a result, again there will be refraction, and again they will be split even further. So now violet will come out like this, red will come out like this. In the middle we have the other different colors. You can see how it is completely scattered. Where it was one single path of light, it is scattered into 7 different paths of light. This is violet, this is. It is how scattering occurs in case of a prism. White light enters, it scatters like this. It is only based on the amount or the wavelength of each of the rays. Wavelength is the most important factor in scattering of light. Must be clear to you. Wavelength is the most important factor in the scattering of light. I am repeating this again because the light with the smallest wavelength will have most deviation, and the largest wavelength or the longest wavelength will have the least deviation. Least means smallest amount of deviation. It is how light scatters, and we will have a rainbow like visual from this view. Okay. Now, what Newton did, Newton was trying to find out whether only these 7 lights are make up the white light, whether there is any other light. I mean, he thought that only one prism is splitting the white light into 7 different colors. Let me try with another prism. Let me place another prism here and see whether these 7 lights scattered even more. What he did, he placed another prism here, tried to see whether there is more scattering of light. But what he saw that no, only those 7 lights are formed. There is no further scattering of light. From white light, even if you place 2, 3, 4 prisms, you will only get 7 lights. In order to prove, finally put a stamp on the fact that 7 lights make up a white light, he placed another prism, but this time in the reverse direction. Since he took this prism, he placed another prism right here, but this time like this. Inverted position, he placed another prism. Now what happened? These things will bend. Because it is in the reverse direction, the refraction will take place in the opposite way. So here from one light it diverged, lights were diverging. Now what will happen? It will converge. Why? Because here we have the normal. If I draw the normal right here, what will happen? This light, or there will be normal for each ray. So for each light what will happen? These are the normals I have drawn, okay? What will happen to each of the lights? They will try to bend towards the normal, okay? Now they are trying to bend toward, instead of going in this direction, they will not go in this direction. They will start bending towards the normal. So all the lights will be starting to bend towards the normal. Ultimately what will happen? They will start to converge, and when they come out of this direction, you will see my diagram is not that good. Let me replace it again. Let me draw in a better way. I draw another prism right here in the opposite direction. What happens is the light start to diverge. They seem to diverge to the same point. As a result, when they come out, they combine together and come out as a single light. Just like what happened here. Came in as a single light, split into 7 different colors. Here again they are combining and coming out as, it will be this light, this will be again this light. And this is the experiment that Newton did by placing 2 prisms, one in the inverted, one in the straight position. He saw that when white light was allowed to get in, ultimate light that came out was again white light. That means this splitting of 7 colors proved that only 7 colors are present in white light, not more than 7 colors. So he did 2 steps. First he placed 2 prisms straight in order to check whether 2 prisms will make more scattering. No, he found that white light was scattered. Does not matter how many prisms you place, it will only be scattered to 7 lights. That is Vibgyor. In order to prove that 7 lights make up white light again, placed it inverted. As a result, the reflection took place in the opposite way. Hence, what he found, ultimately when the lights came out, all the lights combined together and formed the white light there. That is how scattering of light takes place to a prism. I hope you understood this, because we are going to use this concept in our next video when we see how scattering of light forms a rainbow and other stuff. I hope you understood this. In case of any confusion, you can ask me in the school app or in WhatsApp, and I'll be there to help you out. Thank you everyone, and until next time.